what would you do differently, or what do you wish somebody would have told you day one when you were starting out as an educator?
Well, what I wish people would have told, someone would have told me, is what I try to tell other people now. And it's listen loudly, assume positive intention, assume that whoever you're working with has a good reason for doing whatever. Assuming that they have positive intention, that really helps you get on the same side with him. You're not assuming that they're just being mean and difficult. A third thing I think I wish somebody had told me is don't respond to somebody who's coming to you with an emotional issue. I think of teachers who are angry with a kid, and or parents who are angry with a teacher, and I respond with, here's the policy, this is what we're going to do. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's the answer, but it's not communicating. You're not communicating with them. You have to understand where the parent's coming from and speak to that first. And if you don't speak to that, and we speak to it respectfully, you're going to have butting of heads, and you just make a lot of problems for yourself. That's not the question I would ask. I guess I would advocate that central office become very clear that they are service-oriented, customer service, rather than being the bosses. We see, and in our interviews, sometimes principals act like they have to do lots of workarounds, central office, and that is not an effective district. And you can have a great school here, but it won't be district-wide if you don't have the district. So I would say that the important piece is for district office to understand the student is at the center, and where is the student? The student's at the school. So thinking about, and that's one of the things I tried to do as superintendent, when a principal came to me and said, oh, I just wish we had da-da-da-da-da-da, I felt like I wanted to be the dream maker. I wanted to, I would find little pots of money here. Okay, I think you can have that extra position because I can fund it this way. Now you've got the money, you've got the position, now make it work. And you have 1 year. If it doesn't work, well, I'll take that money back. And it just, it gives commitment to, there's so much commitment on their part to make whatever it is work. And it's about helping kids fulfill a need, a barrier that principal felt was in the school. So I guess part of what I hope our book speaks to is not only the school principal, but also the district vision, student being in the center and everybody working around it. It's not the superintendent being the boss telling everybody what to do.
Teacher burnout is very real.
Yes.
And being a teacher, principal, superintendent, what are some of the things that leaders listening to us can do to really deal with teacher burnout and to infuse teachers with hope and to really help them understand their calling and feel value? What would you offer as tips, tools, or techniques that leaders might be able to use?
Well, I believe teachers burn out because they feel disempowered, they feel like nobody's listening, they feel like nobody respects them. It's really hard to be an educator these days. I mean, everybody knows what you should do and how you should do it because they've been to school. And on the other hand, we hold up in our society dropout millionaires as if the education that they had was irrelevant. And we don't want educators to feel irrelevant, and we don't want them to feel like they don't matter. They do matter. Education does matter. When you start having conversations with them and saying to them, you know, you really do this well. Tell me what you do to plan this, because the kids really are responding to this. Or when you say to somebody who's been working 30 years in the district, and now, you know, they're all these little pups and they come around and they have all these new ideas, and it's like, I've been there, honey. So what you do is you go in and you give them respect, and you say, this is really good. What part of it then can you use for this new idea? And how can you help us bring the things that you know to the young pups that will help them be stronger in things like student engagement and discipline, classroom management, and all those kinds of things. Suddenly, the disempowerment, suddenly the burnout goes away because they feel respected, they feel listened to, they feel like that they have something of value to give, and they become committed. Sometimes they become your most committed staff people on a new initiative because somebody has come to them and treated them with respect. It has to be authentic, but you have to look for what is their strength and then speak to that and bring it forward for everybody. I want to be remembered as a person who was an advocate, a very strong advocate for educator empowerment, not just teacher empowerment, but every educator really fulfilling their purpose and mission. I want to advocate for them stepping into and remembering and having the courage to be what they wanted to be for children when they came into education. Probably every single teacher who's a great teacher had a teacher themselves, and they want to be the person who's remembered. And I want to be remembered by educators of being a person who really helped them remember that and then step into it with authenticity this time and with confidence.